Shalom, Misha. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, see if somebody else come in. If you want to read, you can raise your hand. If not, I'll just go through the whole thing. I was trying to get somebody to read though, cause I just got my dinner, so I was trying to eat. I've been reading a lot lately.
Hey, sorry about that. I was in another room just listening and I didn't have my mic or my headphones on. How are you doing?
You got the whole Call of Duty set up. Yeah, I'm doing straight. I just got out of Muay Thai, almost passed out. Got
Oh
my dinner.
no.
Yeah, I was going hard. Got my dinner ready. I was trying to see if somebody wants to help read while I eat. My stuff cold.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Why were you going so hard though? It's like a Tuesday. You save that for when it's closer to the weekend so you can prep your
I
body.
can't help it. Plus, I missed a couple days last week, so my
Oh,
stamina was kind of off a little.
uh-oh.
Yeah,
You're slacking a little bit. I
right.
understand. Some days you just need to take time off.
Yeah, yeah. When I first started, my foot was like black from not be. I never used. I was. Yeah, I
I
wasn't used to kicking. My first time kicking anything,
Oh
it was a
man.
mess. Yeah, yeah. But
You gotta be careful now. You only have one body. There's only one temple you have been granted. You gotta do your best to take care of it, okay?
that's facts. But I mean, I'm just wired that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Nothing that
I
Bev
understand.
can't help. It's all good.
Okay. So wait, did you make dinner already? Or are you making dinner?
Oh no, my girl was making it while I was at Muay Thai.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
look at you, so lucky over here.
hot and
Getting your work on, come home to a nice
bright.
fresh cooked meal.
Can't ask for much more.
Yay. What'd she make you? Is it good?
I ain't even eat it yet. It's sweet potatoes with the Gouda mac and cheese with
What?
some chicken wings with this honey and hot sauce combo. She be
Oh my god, can she feed me?
I'll see. I'll say something. It might be bad.
Listen, just tell her that sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, it smell good. I'm about to. I might be off mic for a couple minutes. Hold up.
Okay.
Shalom and elect. Hey, if you want to help me read, I got food in my mouth right now. I'm trying to eat this dinner.
I was just about to say I'm about to go cook some dinner. That's why when you pinged me, I was like, oh shoot, I was about to go in the kitchen. And sweet potatoes sound really good. I think I'm about to do that right now.
Yeah, this shit's busting.
Your girl has inspired me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to. I got 2 Japanese sweet potatoes in the pantry right now, and I'm about to cook those up. So I'm sorry I can't stay, but it's about that time for me, anyways. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's like almost 6 where I am. So it's dinner time.
Nah, I'll eat 30 where I'm at, but alright, yo. I'm gonna get this reading done. Wait a couple more people come in.
Okay. Thanks for letting me up. Enjoy dinner, and I'll probably drop back in.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom Zipporah. Hey, if you want to read, you can raise your hand. We only got 10 chapters. I'm trying to eat this dinner. It's gonna go cold. It's gonna go cold on me while I'm reading. The water. Yeah, I need somebody to help me read. If not, this thing's gonna get cold on me and then it's on y'all. It's y'all's fault. Shalom, Perla. We finna finish Exodus. If you wanna read, raise your hand. Help me out while I eat. Hazel, please help me read while I eat this food before it goes cold. Somebody. I'm finna just start so I can get. I might pause to take some bites in between. All right. It's the last 10 chapters, y'all. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "See, I have called by the name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. I have filled him with a godly spirit, with wisdom, insight, and knowledge, and with every craft, to weave designs, to work with gold, silver, and copper, stone cutting for setting, and wood carving, to perform every craft. And I behold, I have assigned with him Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and I endowed the heart of every wise-hearted person with wisdom, and they shall make all that I have commanded you: the tent of meeting, the ark of the testimonial tablets, and the cover that is upon it, and all the utensils of the tent, the table and its utensils, the pure menorah and all its utensils, and the incense altar, the burnt offering altar and all its utensils, the laver and its base, the knit vestments, the sacred vestments of Aaron and the Kohen, and the vestments of his sons to minister." Yo, every time I see Aaron, I almost say Aaron, y'all. So if I slip, don't get mad. The anointment oil and the incense spices of the sanctuary, like everything that I commanded you, shall they make. Yahweh said to Moses, saying, "Now you speak to the children of Yasharal, saying, however, you must observe my Sabbaths, for it is a sign between me and you for your generations, to know that I am Yahweh, who makes you holy. You shall observe the Sabbath, for it is holy to you. Its desecrator shall be put to death, for whoever does work on it, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. For 6 days work Uh, for 6 days work may be done, and the seventh day is a day of complete rest. It is sacred to Yahweh. Whoever does work on the Sabbath day shall be put to death. The children of Yasharal shall observe the Sabbath to make a Sabbath an eternal covenant for their generations. I'm gonna take a bite real quick, y'all. I would read with a mouthful of food since no one wants to help, but I'm not gonna do that to the word, y'all. All right, what was I at? The children of Yasharal shall observe the Sabbath to make the Sabbath an eternal covenant for their generations. Between me and the children of Yasharal, it is a sign forever that in a 6 day period Yahweh made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. When he finished speaking to him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moses the two tablets of testimony, stone tablets inscribed by the finger of Elohim. Chapter 32. The people saw that Moses had delayed in descending the mountain, and the people gathered around Aaron and said to him, Rise up, make for us gods, that we will go before us. For this man Moses, who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what became of him. Aaron said to them, Remove the rings of gold that are in the ears of your wives, sons, and daughters, and bring them to me. The entire people removed the gold rings that were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. He took it from their hands and bound it up in a cloth and fashioned it in a molten calf. They said, This is your God, O Yasharal, which you brought up from the land of Egypt. Aaron saw and built an altar before him. Aaron called out and said, A festival for Yahweh tomorrow. They arose early the next day and offered up burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. The people sat to eat and drink. They got up to revel. Yahweh spoke to Moses, Go, descend, for your people that you brought up from the land of Egypt has become corrupt. They have strayed quickly from the way that I commanded them. They made themselves a molten calf, prostrated themselves to it, and sacrificed to it, and they said, This is your God, O Yasharal, which brought you up from the land of Egypt. Yahweh said to Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. And now desist from me. Let my anger flare up against them, and I shall annihilate them, and I shall make you a great nation. Moses pleaded before Yahweh, his Elohim, and said, Why, Yahweh, should your anger flare up against your people, whom you have taken out of the land of Egypt, with great power and a strong hand? Shalom, Sage, help me read this while I eat. Somebody, please.
Shalom, bro. I wasn't missing this one. Yeah, Shalom.
Hey, yo, I'm on 32. I'm gonna finish at 32 and then pick it up at 33 so I can eat my food before it gets cold.
Okay, go ahead. You can, when it finish reading, or you want me to take it from 32?
Nah, I got it. Appreciate it. I'm at where I'm at. Oh yeah, I'm on verse 12 in chapter 32. Why should Egypt say the following? With evil intent did he take them out to kill them in the mountains and to annihilate them from the face of the earth. Relent from your flaring anger and reconsider regarding this evil against your people. Remember for the sake of Abraham, Isaac, and Yahshua and Israel and Jacob, your servants to whom you swore by yourself, and you told them, I shall increase your offspring like the stars of the heaven, and this entire land of which I spoke. I shall give your offspring, and it shall be their heritage forever. Yahweh reconsidered regarding the evil that he declared he would do to his people. Moses turned and descended from the mountain with the two tablets of the testimony in his hand. Tablets inscribed on both their sides. They were inscribed on one side and the other. The tablets were God's Elohim's handiwork, and the script was the script of Elohim engraved on the tablets. Joshua heard the sound of the people in it shouting, and he said to Moses, The sound of battle is in the camp. He said, Not a sound shouting strength, nor a sound shouting weakness, a sound of distress do I hear. It happened as he drew near the camp and saw the calf and the dances that Moses' anger flared up. He threw down the tablets from his hands and shattered them at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf that they had made and burned it in fire. He ground it in a fine powder and sprinkled it over the water. He made the children of Yasharal drink. Moses said to Aaron, What did this people do to you that you brought a grievous sin upon it? Aaron said, "Let not my master's anger flare up. You know that the people is disposed towards evil. They said to me, make us a god that we will go before us. For this man Moses, who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what became of him." So I said to them, "Who has gold?" They removed it and came and gave it to me. I threw it in the fire, and this calf emerged. Moses saw the people that it was exposed, for Aaron had exposed them to disgrace among those who rise against them. Moses stood at the gateway of the camp and said, "Whoever is for Yahweh, join me." And all the Levites gathered around him. He said to them, "So said Yahweh, the Elohim of Yasharal. Every man put his sword on his thigh and pass back and forth from gate to gate in the camp. And every man kill his brother. Let every man kill his brother, and every man his fellow, and every man his near one." The Levites did as Moses said. About 3,000 men of the people fell that day. Moses said, "Dedicate yourselves this day to Yahweh, for each has opposed his son and his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day." On the next day, Moses said to the people, "You have committed a grievous sin, and now I shall ascend to Yahweh. Perhaps I can win atonement in the face of your sin." Moses returned to Yahweh and said, "I implore, this people has committed a grievous sin and made themselves a god of gold. And now if you will but forgive their sin, but if not, erase me now from your book that you have written." Yahweh said to Moses, "Whoever sinned against me, I shall erase him from my book. Now go and lead the people to where I have told you. Behold, my angel shall go before you, and on the day that I make my account, I shall bring their sin to account against them." Then Yahweh struck the people with a plague, because they had made the calf that Aaron had made. Chapter 33. You got it, Sage?
Yep, someone. Exodus 33. Yahweh then said to Moses, leave, move on from here, you and the people whom you have brought here from Egypt, to the country that I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that I would give to their descendants. I shall send an angel in front of you, drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Move on towards a country flowing with milk and honey. But I myself shall not be going with you, or I might annihilate you on the way. For you are an obstinate people. On hearing these stern words, the people went into mourning, and no one wore his ornaments. Yahweh then said to Moses, say to the Israelites, you are an obstinate people. If I were to go with you, even for a moment, I should annihilate you. So now, take off your ornaments, and then I shall decide how to deal with you. 6. So from Mount Horeb onward, the Israelites stripped themselves of their ornaments. Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, far away from the camp. He called it the tent of meeting. Anyone who wanted to consult Yahweh would go out to the tent of meeting outside the camp. Whenever Moses went out to the tent, the people would all stand up, and every man would stand at the door of his tent and watch Moses until he went into the tent. Whenever Moses went into the tent, the pillar of cloud would come down and station itself at the entrance of the tent while Yahweh spoke with Moses. The people could all see the pillar of cloud stationed at the entrance to the tent, and the people would all stand up and bow low, each at the door of his tent. Yahweh would talk to Moses face to face, as a man talks to his friend, and afterwards he would come back to the camp. But the young man who was his servant, Joshua, son of Nun, never left the inside of the tent. Moses said to Yahweh, look, you say to me, make the people move on, but you have not told me whom you are going to send with me. Although you have said, I know you by name, and you enjoy my favor. 13. If indeed I enjoy your favor, please show me your ways so that I understand you and continue to enjoy your favor. Consider too that this nation is your people. Yahweh then said, I myself shall go with you, and I shall give you rest. To which he said, if you do not come yourself, do not make us move on from here. For how can it be known that I and my people enjoy your favor, if not by your coming with us? By this we shall be marked out, I and your people, from all the peoples of the face of the earth. Yahweh then said to Moses, again, I shall do what you have asked, because you enjoy my favor, and because I know you by name. He then said, please show me your glory. Yahweh said, I shall make all my goodness pass before you, and before you I shall pronounce the name Yahweh. And before you I shall pronounce the name Yahweh. And I am gracious to those to whom I am gracious, and I take pity on those on whom I take pity. But my face, he said, you cannot see, for no human being can see me and survive. Yahweh then said, here is a place near me. You will stand on the rock, and when my glory passes by, I shall put you in a cleft of the rock and shield you with my hand until I have gone past. Then I shall take my hand away, and you will see my back, but not my face will not be seen. Exodus 34. Yahweh said to Moses, cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and come up to me on the mountain. And I will write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Be ready at dawn. At dawn, come up Mount Sinai, and wait for me there at the top of the mountain. No one may come up with you. No one may be seen anywhere on the mountain. The flocks and herds may not even graze in front of this mountain. So he cut 2 tablets of stone, like the first, like the first. And with the 2 tablets of stone in his hands, Moses went up Mount Sinai in the early morning as Yahweh had ordered. And Yahweh descended in a cloud and stood with him there and pronounced the name Yahweh. Then Yahweh passed before him and called out, Yahweh, Yahweh, God of tenderness and compassion, slow to anger, rich in faithful love and constancy, maintaining his faithful love to thousands, forgiving fault, crime, and sin, yet letting nothing go unchecked, and punishing the parents' fault in the children and in the grandchildren to the third and fourth generation. Moses immediately bowed to the ground in worship. He then said, if indeed I do enjoy your favor, please, Yahweh, come with us. Oh, they are an obstinate people, and forgive our faults and sins and adopt us as your heritage. He then said, look, I am now making a covenant. I shall work such wonders at the head of your whole people as have never been worked in any other country or nation. And all the people around you will see what Yahweh can do. For what I shall do through you will be awe inspiring. Mark then what I command you today. I am going to drive out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites before you. Take care you make no pact with the inhabitants of the country which you are about to enter, or they will prove a snare in your community. You will tear down their altars, smash their Kotik stones, and cut down their sacred poles. For you will worship no other God, since Yahweh's name is the jealous one. He is a jealous power. Make no pact with the inhabitants of the country, or when they prostitute themselves to their own gods and sacrifice to them. They will invite you, and you will partake of their sacrifice. And then you will choose wives for your sons from among their daughters, and their daughters, prostituting themselves to their own gods, will induce your sons to prostitute themselves to their gods. You will not cast metal gods for yourself. You will observe the feast of unleavened bread. For 7 days you will eat unleavened bread, as I have commanded you, at the appointed time in the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib you came out of Egypt. All that first issues from the womb belongs to me, every male, every firstborn flock or herd. But the firstborn donkey you will redeem when an animal from the flock. If you do not redeem it, you must break its neck. All the firstborn of your sons you will redeem, and no one will appear before me empty handed. For 6 days you will labor, but on the seventh day You will rest. You will stop work, even doing plowing and harvesting. You will observe the Feast of Weeks, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the Feast of Ingathering at the close of the year. 23. 3 times a year, all your menfolk will appear before Yahweh, the power of Israel. For I shall dispossess the nations before you, and extend your frontiers, and no one will set his heart on your territory when you go away to appear before Yahweh, your power, 3 times a year. You would not offer the blood of my sacrificial victim with leavened bread, nor is the victim offered at the feast of Passover to be left until the following day. You will bring the best of the first fruits of your soil to the house of Yahweh, your power. You will not boil a kid in his mother's milk. Yahweh then said to Moses, put these words in writing, for they are the terms of the covenant which I have made with you and with Israel. He stayed there with Yahweh for 40 days and 40 nights, eating and drinking nothing. And on the tablets he wrote the words of the covenant, the 10 words. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands as he was coming down the mountain, Moses did not know that the skin of his face was radiant because he had been talking to him. And when Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, the skin on his face was so radiant that they were afraid to go near him. But Moses called to them, and Aaron and all the leaders of the community rejoined him, and Moses talked with them. After which all the Israelites came closer, and he passed on to them all the orders that Yahweh had given to him on Mount Sinai. Once Moses had finished speaking to them, he put a veil over his face. Whenever Moses went into Yahweh's presence to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And when he came out, he would tell the Israelites what orders he had been given. And the Israelites would see Moses' face radiant. Then Moses would put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak with him the next time. Exodus 35.
I'll read 35. Sage, you want to take turn?
Oh, Shalom, bro.
Shalom,
Let me
sis.
read 35 and then you then you can go from there, okay? Because
All right.
there's some more. I'll just read this one, then you can go next. Okay. Uh Moses assembled the whole community of the Israelites and said, these are the things Yahweh ordered to be done. Work must be done for 6 days, but the seventh must be a holy day for you, a day of complete rest in honor of Yahweh. Anyone who does any work on that day will be put to death. You will not light a fire on the Sabbath day in any of your homes. Yahweh spoke to the whole community of Israelites. This, he said, is what Yahweh has ordered. Set aside a contribution for Yahweh out of your possessions. Everyone whose heart prompts him to do so should bring a contribution for Yahweh. Gold, silver, and bronze, materials dyed violet, purple, red, purple, and crimson. Finally, woven linen, goat's hair, ram skin dyed red, fine leather, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense. Cornelian and other stones to be set in the ephod and breastplate. And all those of you who have the skill must come and make everything that Yahweh has ordered. The dwelling, its tent and its covering, its clasps and its frames, its crossbars, its pillars and its sockets, the ark, its shafts, and all its accessories, the mercy seat and the screening curtain, the table, its shafts, and all its accessories, and the loaves of permanent offering, the lampstand for the light, its accessories, its lamps, and the oil for the light, the altar of incense and its shaft, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, and the screen for the entrance of the tent, the altar of burnt offerings and its bronze gratings, its shaft and all its accessories, the basin and its stand, the curtain for the court, its poles, its sockets, and the screen for the entrance to the court, the pegs for the dwelling and the pegs for the court and their cords, the liturgical vestments for service in the sanctuary, and sacred vestments for Aaron the priest, and the vestments for his sons for their priestly functions. The whole community of Israelites then withdrew from Moses' presence. and all those whose heart stirred them, and all those whose spirit prompted them, brought a contribution for Yahweh, for the work on the tent of meeting, for its general service, and for the sacred vestments. 22. Men and women, they came, all those whose heart prompted them, bringing brooches, rings, bracelets, necklaces, golden objects of every kind. All those who had vowed gold to Yahweh, while all those who happened to own violet purple, red purple, or crimson materials, finely woven linen, goat's hair, ram skin dyed red, and fine leather, bought that. All those offering a contribution of silver or bronze brought their contribution for Yahweh, and all who happened to own acacia wood suitable for any of the work to be done brought that. All the skilled women set their hands to spinning and brought what they had spun, violet purple, red purple, or crimson materials, and fine linen, while all those women whose hearts stirred them by the virtue of their skill spun goat's hair. The leaders brought cornelians and other stones to be set in the ephod and breastplate, and the spices and oil for the light, for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense. All those Israelites, men and women, whose heart prompted them to contribute to the entire work that Yahweh had ordered through Moses to be done, brought a contribution to Yahweh. Moses then said to the Israelites, look, Yahweh has singled out Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and has filled him with the Spirit of God and wisdom, knowledge, and skill in every kind of craft, in designing and carrying out work in gold and silver and bronze, and cutting stones to be set, in wood carving, and in executing every kind of work. And on him and on Aholiab, son of Ahishama, of the tribe of Dan, he has bestowed the gift of teaching, and filled them with the skill to carry out every kind of work, that of the engraver, that of the embroiderer, that of the needle worker, in violet, purple, red, purple, and crimson materials, and fine linen, that of the weaver, and indeed that of every kind of craftsman and designer. Praise Yah. Yeah, Brother Menelec. Shalom, Brother Menelec. Shalom, everyone.
And shalom, shalom. Bezalel shall carry out with Aholiab and every wise-hearted man within whom Adonai had endowed wisdom and insight to know and to do all the work for the labor of the sanctuary. Everything that Adonai had commanded, Moses summoned Bezalel, Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man whose heart Adonai endowed with wisdom, everyone whose heart inspired him to approach the work to do it. From Moses' presence, they took the entire gift that the children of Israel brought for the work for the labor of the sanctuary to do it. But they continued to bring him free-willed gifts morning after morning. All the wise people came, those performing all the sacred work, each of them from his work that they were doing. And they said to Moses and as follows, the people are bringing more than enough for the labor of the work that Adonai has commanded them to perform. Moses commanded that they proclaim throughout the camp, saying, man and woman shall not do more work toward the gift of the sanctuary. And the people were restrained from bringing, but the work had been enough for all the work to do it, and there was extra. The wise-hearted among those doing the work made the tabernacle, the tents and the curtains of linen, twisted with turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool. They made them with woven design of cherubs. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain was 4 cubits, the same measure for all the curtains. He attached 5 curtains to one another, and 5 curtains he attached to another. He made loops of turquoise wool on the edge of a single curtain at the end of one set. So he did at the edge of the outermost curtain on the second set. He made 50 loops on the one curtain, and he made 50 loops on the end of the other curtain that was on the second set, the loops corresponding to one another. He made 50 clasps of gold and attached the curtains to one another with the clasps, so the tabernacle became one. He made curtains of goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. He made them 11 curtains. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain was 4 cubits, the same measure for 11 curtains. He attached 5 curtains separately and 6 curtains separately. He made 50 loops on the edge of the outermost curtain of the set, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. He made 50 clasps of copper to attach to the tent, so that it would become one. He made a cover for the tent of dyed ram hides, and a cover of takash hides on top. He made the planks for the tabernacle of acacia wood, standing erect. 10 cubits was the height of the plank, and a cubit and a half was the width of each plank. Each plank shall have 2 tenons, parallel to one another, so he did for all the planks of the tabernacle. He made the planks for the tabernacle, 20 planks for the side. He made 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under one plank for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under the next plank for its 2 tenons. And for the second wall of the tabernacle on the north side, he made 20 planks. There are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one plank and 2 sockets under the next plank. For the back of the tabernacle on the west, he made 6 planks. He made 2 planks on the corners of the tabernacle in the back. They were even at the bottom, and together they were matching at the top to a single ring. So he did to them both. At the 2 corners, there were 8 planks and their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets, 2 more sockets under each plank. He made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks of the second side, and 5 bars for the planks of the tabernacle at the back on the west. He made the middle bar to extend within the planks from end to end. He covered the planks with gold and made their rings of gold as housings for the bars, and he covered the bars with gold. He made the partition of the turquoise. He made the partition of turquoise, purple and scarlet wool and linen, twisted them. He made it with woven designs of cherubs. He made for it 4 pillars of acacia wood and plated them with gold. Their hooks were gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. For the entrance of the tent, he made a screen of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and linen, twisted them, work of an embroider. Its pillars were 5 with their hooks, and he plated their tops and their bands with gold, and their sockets were 5 of copper. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits its length, a cubit and a half its width, a cubit and a half its height. He covered it with pure gold, within and without, and he made for it a gold crown all around. He cast for it 4 rings of gold on its 4 corners, 2 rings on its one side, and 2 rings on its second side. He made staves of acacia wood and covered them with gold. He inserted the staves in the rings of the side of the ark to carry the ark. He made a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits its length, and a cubit and a half its width. He made 2 cherubs of gold. He hammered it out. He made them from the 2 ends of the cover, one cherub from the end at one side of one cherub, and from the end at the other. From the cover he did make the cherubs from its 2 ends. The cherubs were with wings spread upward, sheltering the cover with their wings, with their faces toward one another. Toward the cover were the faces of the cherubs. He made the table of acacia wood, 2 cubits in its length, a cubit in its width, a cubit and a half its height. He covered it with pure gold, and made for it a crown all around of gold. He made for it a molding of 1 handbreadth all around, and he made for it a gold crown for the molding all around. He cast for it 4 rings of gold, and placed the rings on the 4 corners of its 4 legs. The rings were opposite the moldings as houses for the staves to carry the table. He made the staves of acacia wood and covered them with gold to carry the table. He made the utensils that were on the table, its dishes, its spoons, its pillars, its shelving tubes, which it was covered with pure gold. He made the menorah of pure gold. He hammered it out. He made the menorah, its base and its shaft, its cups, its knobs, its flowers from it. 6 branches emerged from its sides, 3 branches of the menorah from its side, and 3 branches of the menorah from its second side. 3 cups engraved like almonds on one side of the branch, a knob and a flower, and 3 cups engraved like almonds, a knob and a flower on the next branch. So for the 6 branches that emerged from the menorah. And on the menorah were 4 cups engraved like almonds, its knobs and its blossoms. A knob was under the 2 of the branches of it. A knob was under the two of the branches from it, and a knob was under the two of the branches from it, for the 6 branches emerging from it. Their knobs and their branches were of it, all of a single hammered piece of gold. He made its lamps 7, and all its tongs and its spoons of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold did he make it, and all its utensils. He made the incense altar of acacia wood, a cubit its length and a cubit its width, squared, and 2 cubits its height, for it were its horns. He covered it with pure gold, and its roof and its walls were all around, and its horns. And he made for it a gold crown all around. He made for it 2 gold rings under its crown on its 2 corners on its 2 sides, as housing for the staves which were to carry it. He made the staves of acacia wood and covered them with gold. He made the anointment of oil holy, and the incense spices pure, a perfumer's handiwork. He made the burnt altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits its length, and 5 cubits its width, square, and 3 cubits its height. He made its horns on 4 corners. From it were its horns, and he covered it with copper. He made all the utensils of the altar, the pots, the shovels, the basins, the forks, the fire pans. He made all its utensils of copper. He made for the altar a netting of copper mesh work below its surrounding borders, downwards until its midpoint. He cast 4 rings on the 4 edges of the copper netting as housing for the staves. He made the staves of acacia wood and covered them with copper. He inserted the staves in the rings on its sides of the altar in which to carry it. Hollow of the boards he did make it. He made the laver of copper and its base of copper from the mirrors of the legions who massed at the entrance of the tent of meeting. He made the courtyard. On the south side, the lace hangings of the courtyard of twisted linen 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20 of copper, and the hooks and the pillars and their bands of silver. On the north side, 100 cubits, their pillars 20, and their sockets 20 of copper, the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. On the west side, the lace hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their bands of silver. And on the eastern side, 50 cubits, 15-cubit lace hanging at the end, at the shoulder, the pillars 3 and their sockets 3, and the second shoulder. On either side of the gate of the courtyard, 15-cubit lace hangings, their pillars and their sockets 3. All the lace hangings of the courtyard all around were of twisted linen. The sockets of the pillars were copper. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and the plating of their tops was silver. They were banded with silver, all the pillars of the courtyard. Let me go to the next page. The screen of the gate of the courtyard was embroidered work of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and twisted linen, 20 cubits in length and height. In width was 5 cubits, corresponding to the lace hangings of the courtyard. Their pillars and their sockets were 4 of copper, their hooks silver, and the plating of the tops and their bands silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and the courtyard all around were copper. Now we're at hold on. These are the reckonings of the tabernacle of testimony, which were reckoned at Moses' bidding. The labor of the Levites was under the authority of Ishamar, the son of Aaron, the Kahan. Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, did everything that Adonai commanded Moses. With him was Aholiab, the son of Ahashemach, of the tribe of Dan, a carver, weaver, and embroiderer, with turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and linen. All the gold that was used for the work, for all the holy work, the offered of gold was 29 talents, 730 shekels in the sacred shekel. The silvers of the census of the community was 100 talents, 1,775 shekels in the sacred shekel, a bekah for every head, a half shekel in the sacred shekel for everyone who passed through the census takers from 20 years of age and up, for 603,550. The 100 talents of silver were cast to the sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the partition, 100 sockets for 100 talents, a talent per socket. And from 1,775 he made hooks for the pillars, covered their tops, and banded them. The offered up copper was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. With it he made the sockets of the entrance of the tent of meeting, the copper altar, the copper meshwork that was on it, and all the vessels of the altar, the sockets of the courtyard all around, the sockets of the gate of the courtyard, all the pegs of the tabernacle, and all the pegs of the courtyard all around. All right, 39. From the turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool they made knit vestments to serve in the sanctuary, and they made the holy vestments for Aaron, as Adonai commanded Moses. He, he made the ephod of gold, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen. They hammered out the thin sheets of gold and cut threads to work the weaver's craft into the turquoise, into the purple, and into the scarlet wool, and into the linen. They made attached shoulder straps for it. Attached to its two ends, the belt which it was emplaced, which was on it, was made from it, of the same workmanship, of gold, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, of linen, twisted as Adonai commanded Moses. They fashioned the shaham stones encircled with gold settings, engraved like the engraving of a signet ring, according to the names of the sons of Israel. He placed them on the shoulder straps of the ephod as remembrance stones for the sons of Israel, as Adonai commanded Moses. He made the breastplate of weaver's craft, like the workmanship of the ephod, of gold, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, linen, twisted it. It was square, folded over, did they make the breastplate. Its length was a half cubit, and its width was a half cubit, folded over. They filled it with 4 rows of stones, and rows of adem, pidah, and barakes. One row, the second row, nafhek, shafir, and yahalam. The third row, leshem, shava, and achlamah. The fourth row, tarshish, shaham, and yashafah, encircled with gold settings in their mountains. The stones were according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engraving of a signet ring, each man according to his name for the 12 tribes. For the breastplate they made chains at the edges, braided craftsmanship of pure gold. They made 2 gold settings and 2 gold rings, and they placed 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. They placed 2 gold ropes on the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate, 2 ends of the straps of the ephod towards its front. Hold on. 2 ends of the 2 ropes they placed on 2 settings and placed them on the shoulder straps of the ephod towards its front. They made 2 gold rings and placed them on the 2 ends of the breastplate at its edge, which on its inner side toward the ephod. They made 2 gold rings and placed them at the bottom of the shoulder straps toward the front, opposite its seam, above the belt of the ephod. They attached the breastplate from its rings and the rings of the ephod with a turquoise woolen cord, so that it would remain above the belt of the ephod, and the breastplate would not be loosened from above the ephod, as Adonai commanded Moses. He made the robe of the ephod of weaver's craft, entirely of turquoise wool. Its head opening was folded over from within, like the opening of a coat of mail. Its opening had a border all around so it would not tear. On the robe's hem, they made pomegranates of turquoise, purple, scarlet wool. Twisted, they made belts of pure gold. They placed their bells amid the pomegranates on the hem of the robe all around, amid the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate on the hem of the robe all around, to minister as Adonai commanded Moses. They made the tunics of linen of weaver's craft for Aaron and his sons, and the turban of linen, and the splendid headdresses of linen, and the linen breeches of twisted linen, the sash of twisted linen, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and of embroiderer's work. As Adonai commanded Moses, they made the headplate, the holy crown, the nezer of pure gold. They inscribed on it with a script like that of a signet ring, saying, Holy to Adonai. They placed on it a cord with turquoise wool to put it over the turban from above, as Adonai commanded Moses. All the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting was completed, and the children of Israel had done everything that Yahweh commanded Moses. So they did. They brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent, and all its utensils, its hooks, its planks, its bars, its pillars, its sockets, the cover of red dyed ram hides, and the cover of takash skins, and the partition curtain, the ark of testimony and its staves and the cover, the table and all its utensils and the showbread, the pure menorah, its lamps, the lamps of the prescribed order, and all its utensils and all the oil of illumination, the gold altar, the anointment oil, the incense spices, and the partition of the entrance of the tent, the copper altar and its copper meshwork, its staves and all its utensils, the laver and its base, the curtains of the courtyard, its pillars, its sockets, the partitions of the gate of the courtyard, its ropes, its pegs, all the utensils for the service of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, the knitted vestment to serve in the sanctuary, the sacred vestments of Aaron the Kahan, and the vestments of his sons to minister. Like everything that Adonai commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel perform all the labor. Moses saw the entire work, and behold, they had done it as Yahweh commanded. So had they done, and Moses blessed them.
I finished off 40. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, on the day of the first new moon, on the first of the month, you shall erect the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. There you shall place the ark of testimony and screen the ark with the partition. You shall bring the table and prepare its setting. Bring the menorah and kindle its lamps. You shall place the gold altar for incense in front of the ark of the testimony, and then place the curtain of the entrance of the tabernacle. You shall place the burnt offering altar in front of the entrance of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. You shall place the laver between the tent of meeting and the altar, and you shall put water there. You shall emplace the courtyard all around, and place the curtain at the gate of the courtyard. You shall take the anointment oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything that is in it. Sanctify it in all its utensils, and it shall become holy. You shall anoint the burnt offering altar and all its utensils. You shall sanctify the altar, and the altar shall become holy of holies. You shall anoint the laver and its stand, and sanctify it. You shall bring Aaron and his sons near to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and immerse them in water. You shall dress Aaron in the sacred vestments, and anoint him. You shall sanctify him, and he shall minister to me. And his sons you shall bring near, and dress them in tunics. You shall anoint them as you had anointed their father, and they shall minister to me. And so it shall be that their anointment shall be for eternal priesthood for their generations. Moses did according to everything that Yahweh commanded him, so he did. It was in the first month of the second year of the first of the month that the tabernacle was erected. Moses erected the tabernacle. He put down its sockets and in place its planks and inserted its bars and erected its pillars. He spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the cover of the tent on it from above, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He took and placed the testimony into the ark and inserted the staves on the ark, and he placed the cover of the ark on the ark from above. He brought the ark into the tabernacle and then placed the partition sheltering the ark of testimony, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He put the table in the tent of meeting on the north side of the tabernacle, outside the partition. He prepared on it the setting of bread before Yahweh, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He placed the menorah in the tent of meeting opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. He kindled the lamps before Yahweh, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He placed the gold altar in the tent of meeting in front of the partition. Upon it he caused incense spices to go up in smoke, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He emplaced the curtain of the entrance of the tabernacle. He placed the burnt offering altar at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and brought up upon it the elevation offering and the meal offering, as Yahweh had commanded Moses. He emplaced the laver between the tent of meeting, between the tent of meeting and the altar, and there he put water for washing. Moses, Aaron, and his sons washed their hands and feet from it. When they came to the tent of meeting and when they approached the altar, they were washed, as Yahweh commanded Moses. He erected the courtyard all around the tabernacle and the altar, and he emplaced the curtain of the gate of the courtyard. So Moses completed the work. The cloud covering of the tent of meeting and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. Moses could not enter the tent of meeting, for the cloud rested upon it, and the glory of Yahweh filled the tabernacle. When the cloud was raised up from the tabernacle, the children of Yasharah would embark on their journeys. If the cloud did not rise up, they would not embark until the day it rose up. For the cloud of Yahweh would be on the tabernacle by day, and fire would be on it by night. before the eyes of all the house of Yasharal throughout their journeys. And that concludes Exodus, y'all. I
All
appreciate
praises to the Most High.
all
All
praise.
praises to the Most High Yahweh. And thank you all for the reading and for those who are staying to hear it.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody that came in and appreciate y'all coming up and reading. Let me eat my food hot.
Hey, it says it on yours too, right? At the end of it, it said like Kazak, Kazak,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Wanah HaKazak. May we be, it says, be strong, and may we be strengthened.
Khan. Yeah, it says that after every book, I believe. Kazak, Kazak, Venice. How you pronounce that?
Wanah Kazak.
Wana.
Yeah, what you know the J which say like Va, but it's like Wanah Kazak.
Kazak, Kazak, Wana, Kazak. And be strong, and may we be strengthened.
Hey, that's like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best, like those few chapters right there, like one of the best, like bro, that stuff like there, like is so overlooked because they're like, okay, like like when we like in Christianity, we're like, man, it's talking about like some pillars and staves and sockets and all that stuff is like deep. That's deep stuff right there, like all of it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that while you was reading. I was like, it's one of the things that like it sounds repetitive, and people might be like Chronicles with all the names and stuff. People might like, just be like, oh, this is it's just talking about the temple being built. But I know there's more. There's a deeper meaning behind it. Also, I know you can dive into that. But yeah, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming. Appreciate y'all reading. Deborah, where were you? All right. Yeah, we about to close out, and we gonna start Leviticus. And this chicken, this hot sauce, and this chicken got my nose running.
I was about to say, can one of y'all do a prayer and pray us out?
Yeah, yeah. All praise Yahweh to your holy name. Thank you for bringing us together to read your word. Put on us a spirit to follow you and guide our steps and guide our hearts and our minds to follow you wholeheartedly without error as best as we can. Thank you for all the people you brought here today. May you bless them. May you protect them and their loved ones. May you watch us every day. May you put the zeal on us to keep seeking you day by day. And if we slip, forgive us and raise us up again. As it says, a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets up. He gets up 8, and again, and again, and again. So forgive us for our shortcomings. Forgive us for the sins of the ancestors. Forgive us whenever we fall short. And bring peace, tranquility, and bring strength upon everybody that seeks you. And let those that seek you be found. Even if they're in idolatry still. Open their eyes as you open my eyes, as you open up everybody's eyes in here. And bring us all in one accord to follow you wholeheartedly as a unit. I praise Yahweh. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Anybody else want to say something else? Y'all feel free.
Love you too. Love you too, brother. Thank you for your obedience and your consistency. And may the Most High Yahweh continue to lead us, guide us, and bless us. Thank you all. All praises to the Most High Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Hallelujah.
If no one else has anything to say, we're going to close it out. And we're going to get up on Leviticus tomorrow. I don't know the time yet, but I'll set the time up. on this room. All praise to the Most High. Put them hands up.
All praises to the Most High
Put them
Yahweh.
hands up, yo. Throw it up, Cedric. All right, y'all.
You got to end the room, Brother Soul.